Welcome to Connections. I'm your host, April Healy. I'm sitting with my good friend, Stephanie Mattox. She's the third-year Revival Group pastor at Bethel Atlanta School of Supernatural Ministry. Hey, welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, me too. It's been fun.
I love it. So you were talking to me the other night about just becoming alive and that you felt like the most authentic version of you right now, and you're just like coming alive in areas you've never come alive before. So can you talk to us about like how that even came about, where you're at in life, what's coming alive in you? I can't wait to hear this story.
Yeah, it's been a good season, and it's funny. It's not not that just that everything is perfect, but I feel like I feel like there's areas of my heart that have come alive that I didn't even know that weren't alive, and it's been a process. I feel like that's kind of definitely seeing some coming, all these different things in my life kind of coming to fruition in this more recent season, but. It's been fun. I think there's been a couple of different things that I've kind of think led to that.
Yeah.
A lot of healing. I know, and that's been an never-ending process, right?
Right. Lifelong.
Never. But definitely a lot of healing in the last 3 years. I just finished. I did 3 years of ministry school here, and then this past year I've been on staff. And I think it's just even those 3 years of doing a lot of inner work, of figuring out some stuff and doing a lot of work there. And just as I've grown in the Lord, I mean, that's just, again, a never-ending process. But at the same time, it's been a really fun and fruitful process, I think, in the last little bit. And it's been cool. He started waking up these areas of my life that I didn't know, things that I didn't know I enjoyed, or bringing people into my life that I love being around that I didn't know I would have connected with so much. I've started dreaming about things that I would have never known that I could dream about, should dream about. And it's just been a really fun process. Yeah, I'm just excited. I started this year with more excitement about 2019 than I ever have.
Oh, come on. That's awesome.
I don't know if I've ever said that in my life. I don't know if I've ever looked forward to just kind of seeing what was around the corner than I have this year.
Wow.
And have so much confidence that no matter what comes, because life is life, and life you still get the challenges, and still it's not perfect, but at the same time excited for just what God is doing, and just really trying to pay attention to what He is doing. And focus on that, and just see His faithfulness in that.
Yeah, that's so great.
It's been fun.
What started this journey of health for you, or journey of coming alive and figuring out who you are, kind of thing?
It's definitely been a process. I kind of hit this place about 4 years ago. I spiraled down. I was not doing well. It was right before I started my first year, and so. Just getting a lot of inner healing, did some sozo, started seeing a counselor, had some just really, really great conversations with friends that just really started dealing with some stuff in the inside that I just easy to distract yourself from.
Sure.
And so that was the start of the process, I feel like. And again, just as it kind of going through school and just as life, just continuing to pursue growth and continuing to pursue healing, and just refusing to kind of stay put. Or stay set, that when stuff kind of comes up, really saying, all right, Lord, what are we doing with this? Because I want to keep moving through this, instead of, again, distracting yourself away from it, or kind of shoving it in the closet, which is so easy to do. And I remember a couple years ago, come to this place where I wanted to take a year and figure out, my goal for the year was to have this stable internal world. And it was just something I was going after. And it was a lot longer of a process. I felt like that was going to be a 1 year and be done, and that was going to be it. And I finished that year oh, I don't know, did we do this? But it's been
should we make that goal for the next year?
Yeah, I don't know about that. But it's been definitely something that I've been pursuing, of just how do we just dealing with this stuff that comes up with the Lord as He brings it up. And I think as that's happened, it's healed some areas of my life, healed some places in my heart.
Yeah.
I've become more confident in who He created me to be, liking myself for actually who I am, instead of trying to be what I think You want me to be.
Yeah.
And as those pieces, I think, start coming together, again, you start getting this whole part of your heart that comes alive and actually enjoying life, enjoying the process and enjoying the journey that he has me on.
What have you felt like is either coming alive or like the parts of you that you're finding that you love about you? What are those?
There's been some leadership opportunities, especially being on staff with the school this year. Like I've known I can be a leader, and at work and my job on a daily basis, I lead and direct and instruct, and that's just a normal thing. But
and what do you do for your job?
I'm a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
So I work in medicine, and
awesome.
So
so you naturally lead in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's no problem. So I'm really comfortable with that hat on, and when I walk in the door, and kind of how to direct that. But I've never really had that opportunity, and especially in a more of a spiritual environment. And so I just naturally I'm not a natural just go-getter leader. So I'm just not naturally kind of step to the side, let somebody else lead, and I will love to support you. And by all means, I'm doing that this year, but at the same time, being given some opportunities to be able to lead and speak and really and influence people and have something to say.
Yeah.
And so that's been a really fun thing to start seeing that, oh, there is more in me than I thought, and be able to see that impact on people. And sometimes it's just getting those opportunities to be able to share that, I think, has just allowed me to kind of walk into that and see that a little bit more.
So what do you feel like is pulling out the most authentic version of you? What's helping pull that out of you?
Family. Like it's been finding people that you're running with, and finding people that you fit with, and finding people that love you for you, and that know the real you.
Yeah.
I started realizing a little bit last year that the people that I was doing third year with, and the staff that we had, I realized that on our school nights, the person that showed up on those nights, I loved that person.
You're talking about yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that person. I loved who I was on Monday and Tuesday nights, and
during school.
Right. I would show up, and it wasn't this performance. I felt the most authentic version of myself, and most comfortable, and the most just alive person. And then on the rest of my days, back to normal. And it wasn't bad. It was just, but I started realizing there's something in me that shows up on these nights, and it really has to do with being around these people. And so I've started pursuing that, like just continuing. Okay, how do we stay in that environment, and how do I steward that culture, and pursue those relationships, and keep those people close. And it takes work, and it takes effort, just like any relationship does. And it takes showing up and being vulnerable, and saying, hey, I'm having a really bad day, or whatever is going on. But I think family, this idea of family, and what has really pulled out some of the great stuff in me. And the really cool thing is that they see stuff in me and pull it out. So not only do I show up, but they see things in me and call that out. And our third year director, Dan, is really great at that.
He is good at that.
He's just zeroes in on, oh, you'd be great at this, and boop. And then you just having opportunities to really show up and to do that well. So.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're in a spot where you're like, I need community in my life, I need family, I'm kind of looking for that, and it doesn't feel like it's naturally happening, what would you say to those people that are looking for that kind of thing, and how to get that in their life?
Continue, pursue it, because not that check that out, but I think pursuing family takes a lot of work. And I definitely say there's people I have in my life that are amazing, that is the easiest thing in the world. And then there's definitely people in my life that I've really wanted relationship with that I've had to pursue. And it definitely hasn't been easy, and having to navigate life and schedules and just a million other things.
Yeah.
I would probably say the most important thing is when you're around people to show up. And I think,
come on, that's good.
It's a really, I'm an introvert. It's like, it takes a lot of work sometimes for me to really show up and be vulnerable and be present. Again, I'm so much easier. It's more natural for me just to sit in the back, be quiet, do my thing, learn, and leave at a school night. And but being courageous enough to be seen and have a voice and initiate connections and pursue connections and being friendly. I mean, again, some nights I'm tired. I've had a long day. I'm over people, and I don't want to be there. And so, you know, just making that effort, it's always paid off.
Yeah.
It never doesn't pay off.
That's true.
But it definitely is hard. I know it can be really challenging. And if you don't have it, continue just looking at maybe that those people in your life really aren't it. And maybe that's not it yet. And so continue looking, continue pursuing. But I think the most important thing is kind of putting yourself out there in that vulnerable place.
That's beautiful.
Which is so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
You can do it. So worth it.
That's so awesome. Thanks, Steph. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing your heart with us. I loved hearing everything you had to say. It was beautiful. Beautifully said.
It was great.
And you guys, thanks so much for joining us as well. We loved having you, and we loved having you tune in. And please tune in next time.